Welcome to Broom Talk, the podcast where witches, healers, and magic makers gather to share their journeys, their magic, and their truths. I'm your host, Priestess Melissa of Enchanted Dragonfly, inviting you to take a seat at the broom circle because the real magic is in the stories we tell. So let's stir the cauldron and speak the spell. So I have another magical being with me today. So tell us your name and your business name.
My name is Gabby, and you can find me on Facebook and TikTok under Energy Healing with Gabby. And I offer shamanic healings, mediumship readings, oracle readings, house and business clearings, all that good stuff. And you can find it all on my website, Reiki with Gabby at square.site.
Nice. Well, we will put that in the description later on. Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned a few things that you do already. Do you want to go a little bit more into what you do?
Sure. So I started with Reiki. That's all I wanted to do, which is a gentler healing modality for those that don't know. And it started with just Reiki, and Spirit had other plans for me, and Spirit told me I was to find who is now my shaman mentor, Diaz, owner of Soul Sisters Healing. And Spirit said, you're going to go study Peruvian shamanism with her. And my friends that know Spirit, what Spirit says goes. Yeah. They say free will, but they were persistent. And now I've been doing shamanic work for about almost a year. And it's completely changed my life. When I was younger, I think I wanted to be like a princess or a nurse, which I am a nurse too, but this is nothing I thought my life would be in my wildest dreams. So.
Right? Isn't that the thing? Sometimes your plan is not the plan, right?
No, not at all. It's their plan. So.
Nice. And you said you were located at the Soul
Purpose in Swansea. So I also study various modalities, but I also study Toltec Mayan shamanism with Jessica Kozak Shaw, the owner of Soul Purpose. So I'm very blessed to have all these wonderful mentors. Yeah, so awesome. Definitely help.
And are you located anywhere else?
Just located in Swansea, and I can provide services online, and I do travel. If I travel up to over 30 minutes, there is a travel fee, but I do house parties for mediumship readings, oracle readings, and house and business clearings.
Awesome. So. Nice. And how did you start doing what you do?
I had experience with Spirit as a child, but didn't realize it. So when you go to bed at night and you turn off all the lights and everyone sees pitch black, that was not me as a child. I saw various colors and auras. I had spirits waving to me at the end of my bed in the middle of the night. And I've tried to track it back on when it kind of all closed down and I stopped seeing spirit, but I feel like on a level I never did. I think I always had a knowing, even if I didn't know what it was. But when I realized other kids weren't having these experiences when I was little, I was just like, ooh, zip it, like, don't talk about it. Yeah. Because even when you close your eyes at night, some people don't even dream. So I'm like, you don't have dreams? Yeah. What? And closing their eyes, I would see all sorts of visions and spirits. And people said, no, I see black. That's it. I'm like, oh. Okay. Yeah. So I thought I was the oddball out. And then when I went to Sedona, Arizona in 2020 during COVID, I had no idea about like the vortex and the energy, and even though I had a knowing, I was also skeptical. I was like, oh, I'm glad the vortex changes everyone else's life, but it's not going to change mine. I've had a couple of mediums confirm that going to Sedona, Arizona changed the whole trajectory of my life. And Spirit was like, you're going to go on this path. And I started being more connected with Spirit again. And it launched me into a whole new timeline. And now here I am. So
nice. Isn't it funny how one step or decision or what have they, or you change that whole course?
I have chills when you say it. Yeah, it's true. It changes the whole course of your whole life. And I didn't know that till recently, until, like I said, I was at lunch with another medium, and I've seen her a few times, so she doesn't know me personally. And so she starts reading me in the restaurant, and she's like, did you know your guide changed the whole trajectory of your life? And I always had a feeling, but to hear that confirmation from another medium, I was like, yep.
Nice. That's awesome.
Right.
What type of practitioner are you?
I'm not great at labels, so I apologize, my friends. But I mean, I'm a shamanic practitioner. My mediumship style is a little bit different because we have evidential mediumship that a lot of mediums are. Anne Hartnett, that was on a couple weeks ago, she's a fantastic angelic channeler. My style is a little different. It's more of shamanic mediumship, where I had this whole timeline of clients coming in, and it would start off as I guess, a normal mediumship reading, for a lack of a better word. And then halfway through, spirit would be like, put them on the table. They need a healing. I'm like, what? No, they're here for a mediumship reading. And I've had spirits like shut off my electronics, shut off the speaker, of like, no, get them on the table. And I felt kind of like a bad medium. I was like, oh my gosh, they pay. But most of my clients are open when they come anyways. They're open to whatever spirit leads them to. And then when I was doing my apprenticeship with Jessica Kozak Shaw, she was talking about this special kind of like specialty, for a lack of a better word, of shamanic mediumship. And that's when I realized that's what I was doing. It was going beyond channeling just our loved ones in spirit. It was channeling their guides, their ancestors, power animals, things of that nature. And I was like, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, my poor clients. And then, so that's kind of been all the different things that I do. So,
I love it. What is your spiritual origin story or an awakening moment?
So definitely Sedona, Arizona. When I went there 5 years ago, I was on a pink Jeep tour with two of my friends, and we had this tour guide, and she said how she went into the vortex and it changed her whole life. She missed her plane 3 times on purpose, and then she stayed in Sedona. She never went. I forgot where she was from. I don't know if it's like Delaware or Detroit. It was one of those, but she never went home. And I remember sitting in the Jeep saying like, I love that for you. I love that changed your whole life, not knowing it was going to change mine. And then, like I said, I came home from Sedona and I started seeing spirits clear as day again.
Just open your eyes, right? Or look at something with different eyes, and then you just, it just opens right up.
I absolutely
love that.
So yeah, it's definitely my spiritual awakening. And then it'll be 3 years in March. So March 2nd of 2023. Don't do what I do. I don't recommend this. I was a bad girl and called out of work. And then something about that action of calling out work, I heard spirit for the first time. And being in healthcare for as long as I was like, auditory hallucinations, or am I connecting with spirit? I wasn't really, again, I was open but skeptical at the same time.
Yeah.
And then so I read this book by Gabrielle Bernstein, and she said, have fun with your guides. Like, ask them who they are. Ask them for signs to validate what you're receiving. So I told my spirit guide, I said, if this is legit, let me see 1111, whether it's the price of something, the time, a license plate, etc. So I went out and I ran all my errands and nothing came to 1111. I didn't see it anywhere. So I'm like, maybe I'm just a burnt out, tired nurse. That's okay. Shout out to all my nurses. And I came home and I was tentatively planning a trip to Europe, and it came down to I had to pick 2 of 4 countries, and I put in the ticket from Paris to Berlin. It came to $11.11 on the dot.
That's awesome. There it is.
To tax and everything. And I was like, what the heck? And I still have that picture on my phone, like to this day, as like a holy crap, like a reminder. So
now, were you kind of actively searching for the 1111 while you were out earling it? No, I just left it open?
No, I just left it open. And maybe it was a little like attached to it, and that's probably why. But then I think when I got home, I finally like surrendered it and let it go. And I was just honestly going to pick the cheaper of like, what were the 2 countries that are cheaper of the 4?
Yeah.
And when I put it in and it was 1111,
nice.
I was like, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. I love that. What's your daily spiritual or magical practice like?
I'm sorry, can you ask that again?
Sure. Or what is your daily spiritual or magical practice like?
Again, don't do what I do. Spirit's been on me because my spiritual discipline isn't always the best, but I find the few practices I do enjoy are meditation. And when I say meditate, like, I don't mean like 30 minutes on the ground, but sometimes I just take like 5 minutes in the morning to just really like take a breath, slow down. Also, I find that just sitting at like in front of my altar and talking with my guides, that's kind of been my big thing, just talking to them like we're talking now. And I've noticed how much things are coming into fruition when I just take the time to sit and acknowledge like my guides and my loved ones and ancestors. So
it's so important.
It's like just try to make it simple, something you can enjoy, because once we put this I have to do it, then you're not going to want to do it.
Right. So, it kind of makes it seem like almost like a chore after a while, or if you put that mindset and meditation, absolutely. Just a couple of minutes. It doesn't need to be this long
30 minutes.
30 minutes. I mean, if you do that, by all means, good for you. But sometimes I cannot sit still that long.
No, I can't either. So that's why I'm like, even if I get 5, that's a goal. And they don't know the concept of time over there anyway. So to them, I think they're just happy to see us do it.
Yeah, and that connection. Yeah, absolutely. Who or what inspires your path the most?
Definitely one of my mentors, Julianne. She is one of my biggest cheerleaders. Like, I just dropped her off at the airport before I came here because she travels back and forth here in Florida, and she's just always telling me how proud she is of me and just always believes in me. And, you know, I'll come to her and she, as a mentor, she'll be like, why are you doubting yourself? You can do this. So it's, if I could recommend anyone that gets into it, having a mentor on this path. And I'm blessed with 3 incredible mentors. And I also believe when you go on this path, like, everyone's going to teach you something. So you're constantly learning past the mentors you have. But to have the 3 mentors I do, just knowing at any time I can, you know, ask them a question or seek guidance on something, they always answer and they're there. So, yeah.
Love that.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I was very ungrounded when everything started opening again. Like, I love for all my other friends and loved ones that they had this like beautiful spiritual awakening. I thought we were close on the board. Like, I was getting like a psyche evals. I was going to my doctor. I didn't know what was happening. So to have the control now and the grounding and the ease, I'm very, very thankful.
Too. So. Yeah, absolutely. What was the biggest challenge you faced on your journey, and how did you overcome it?
Learning that not everyone can come on this journey with you, no matter how much you love them, no matter how much longevity, you know, you could be friends for over 15, 20 years, but if you're not energetically aligned anymore, your team is going to have, like, people are going to fall off in this journey. And I think that's been one of the hardest things to swallow, especially because, like, in my earlier 20s, I was giving my energy out to everyone, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm in all these like friend groups and and then you get older and you realize how much you don't want that energy to be just given out to anyone. Oh yeah. It just becomes so sacred. So definitely that.
And sometimes it can actually be holding you back. Not specifically with the person or what they're doing or not doing, nothing, not to say that they're doing anything bad against you, just because that alignment isn't there. And if you're going that way and they're going this way, and if you try to go that way with still them, it's going to hold you back a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. What tools, methods, or spirits guide your work?
Tools. So I'm wearing 2 of them that one of them I wear like 99% of the time. And then the other one I wear 99% of the time when I'm doing spiritual work. So I work with a group of deities called the Orishas of the African Yoruba religion. So the story with that is, shout out to Vanessa Santiago. She is a medium in Westport. She's also fantastic. I went to see her for a session. And normally she gets like my loved ones in spirit, but this was a very different reading. I can't remember if she was doing Reiki in a reading, but I digress. I was on the table and she said, do you have an African man on your spirit team? And I looked at her like, what? I was like, an African man? And she said, yeah, like an African king on your spirit team. I was like, what? She's like, may I ask you, if you don't mind, like, what is your ethnicity? I'm like, oh, I'm Hispanic. Like, my dad's from Colombia. And she was like, Santeria. I'm like, what? So she's like, just remember this, this, and this, and then we're going to look it all up when we're done. I'm like, okay. So we looked it up, and he gave her like these validating clues to validate how he was. I like got chills talking about him now. He's here now. But yeah, he came through and he said he's going to protect me and help me with readings. And that opened the floodgate of mediumship, because 3 weeks prior is like, we're doing Reiki and that's it. And like nothing else. And they were like, you think. So this represents Shango, who is a god of thunder, lightning, justice, and good fortune. And then this is my pie stone for Peruvian shamanism. And it's on this is a wantanda from the shamans in Peru.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
So thank you. It's mahogany obsidian. So during what was called my Muna key rites, the shaman put the pie stones in a basket and covered it with a napkin so you couldn't see. And funny enough, spirit showed me what it was going to look like. So when I pulled it out of the basket, I was like, come on. But it's a very powerful tool. It can be used for so many things. It can be used for protection. When I'm doing shamanic work or energy work, I use it on my clients sometimes if I have a really stagnant energy that just won't clear out. So sometimes I'll either just use the pie stone as I move and work down. If I work with tobacco for tobacco clearings, I'll blow tobacco through to give it like an extra, to take that entity or that energy out. So it can be used for various things.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Now, for shamanic work, could you give an example of what that would be?
So shamanic work, I always try to do it layman's terms, and then I get so spirit gets in, and then we're on another level of things. But shamanic work, it can range to a lot of different things. So for those that may not know what shamanic work is, it's working not only with your spirit guides and ancestors, but also the elements in earth, kind of like how the pentacle represents the four elements in spirit. So in shamanism, we have the four elements, Mother Earth, Gaia, and then the divine that we work with. And every session is different. So I've done with my spirit team soul retrievals. When we go through traumatic events in life, I feel like I lost a piece of my soul. It's a real thing that scatters into different realms. So as the shaman, will drum to get in that trance state to travel to those realms with your spirit team in mind to retrieve those parts of your soul. Sometimes people throw in Peruvian shamanism we call hucha, which is bad energy. And sometimes they don't realize they're doing it subconsciously. So now you might have an attachment on you that's hindering you from whatever they don't want you to do, whether it's have success in your business, your life. Like I've had people come in and they can like sometimes just feel like something's like off. And then I go in and I pull out whatever the attachment is on them, that energetic attachment, and they'll already feel so much better. But it is a wide range. Like I said, everyone's so different per like what your guides come through and tell you. So usually I leave a couple minutes at the end of the session to like bring you back from your journey, kind of tell you what your guides told me. And then they kind of give you like spiritual homework and I leave it to the client. Like, you don't have to do this, but this is recommended from like your team and your ancestors. So
thank you. That was a beautiful example.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Now because my nose is running.
How do you stay energetically protected and grounded?
So definitely my pie stone. So one of my mentors gave me a good example. She was in a crystal shop in Florida and no one was behind her. And this is on like type, like you can't, like it's not going to come off. What happened to her is someone sent her such a bad energetic hit that she said it felt like someone came up and ripped it off behind her. So her pie stone took that energetic hit for her. Yeah. So it wouldn't hit her. So this in Peruvian shamanism, it's called viracocha, which is protection. So you in Japanese, the usi reiki, you have your 7 chakras, and then in Peruvian shamanism, you learn about there's like 100. Oh my gosh, Julian's gonna watch this and be like fired. Not really. But there's like 100 and some odd chakras we have, but you have your 8th chakra that has like white, light, and golden protection. So what we teach our clients and students is that you can visualize pulling that down. And or you can step into it like a spacesuit and zip up. Oh, cool. And just put that intention out there. And it lasts about 4 to 6 hours. And then I've had students and clients say they can actually feel when it's about to wear off and they know they have to do it again. I work with my spirit team. So funny enough, even though they don't know time over there, they'll know to ping me and be like, hey, like your viracocha's wearing off. And I'll look at the clock and I'm like, there's no time over there. So how'd you even know? Maybe the vibe or the energy flow. Yeah. So probably. Awesome. But so that's a tip to protect your energy. And then just if I have to go inward and kind of isolate in a healthy way, because I know you have to be careful with like how you word that, but isolate in a healthy way just to kind of like recharge if I've done a lot of energy work, because it does drain you. And a lot of people don't talk about how taxing and draining it is. So. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Any kind of energy work or you're putting that magic into something or just even sometimes meditating can be draining depending on what you're connecting with. Absolutely. Yeah. What's one common misconception about your craft or your work? Common misconception. Should be funny. I should be serious, but I'm gonna be a little funny with this. But I feel like a common misconception with my work is that it's like hoodoo voodoo, and people think I'm like possessed. And I do understand like there's good and bad in the physical, so we have it in the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a misconception that I'm like this like I guess black magic witch, and I'm gonna like cut their hair, and there are people who choose to do that, and that's their path, that's their journey. That's not mine. So I always put out the intention for the highest and best, and I only channel energies and souls that walk in God's true light way. That's just my thing. But you honor and respect everyone's path. So
it's what you're doing with your tools and your gifts, and your crafts.
It's all about intention. So if you're putting out a nasty intention, I also believe that's going to come back to you. So
absolutely.
Are there times I've wanted to send it back with sass? Yes, but then I have to think about that it's going to bounce back and hit me, and I'm like, I make my own mistakes already. I don't need the karma. I'm like,
I love a good transmutation work, just to turn that energy into something else.
Yes, absolutely.
Just like a coffee.
Ooh, okay.
Can you share a powerful or memorable client transformation?
Wow. Client. So I have one client, and this was like actually my first soul retrieval. I didn't even realize I did it. My spirit remembered how to do it. So I actually had to call my mentor afterwards, and I was like, I don't know what the F I just did to my client, but she has because as a practitioner, we have to be responsible. And I always say, always speak with the healthcare provider. Just if you don't, at least I said that for, responsibility. But she has no like medical history or cardiology or circulation issues, and her lips turned blue after a session. So I called my mentor, and she had tapped into spirit, and they said, you had done a soul retrieval. I'm like, how do I do a soul retrieval? Not even know that I did one. Yeah. And she said, your spirit remembered, but your human, I guess, didn't. So it was transformative for her, because when I did the soul retrieval, her body was rejecting the soul because her soul was being shared with her brother who passed at 4, but never crossed over. So his soul tied into hers. So it was like her soul and her brother's soul. So when I did this soul retrieval, it was almost like her body was rejecting it. So then we had to take it a step further. And during a group shamanic healing, I felt very called. It wasn't even mine to host. It was my 2 mentors, but I was like, I don't know why, but I'm supposed to be helping you guys with this. And then it was to help cross her brother over, because her brother didn't realize that by staying attached to her here in the physical world, how much it was hurting her. And he didn't want to do that. So unfortunately, even part of his soul was like half attached to her and half of it was in another realm. So I was trying to get it together and then cross over. So now he is in spirit and serves as one of her guides.
Poor kid, huh?
I know. Yeah. I'm like, it was definitely it's already an interesting topic as it is, but when that happened, I'm like, wow, okay.
It's fascinating. Like you could see like the wonders in the physical world. You can only imagine what it's like in the other realms, how fascinating things could be, and beyond our understanding.
Absolutely. And then I had another client. So unfortunately, my niece Kiara had passed away this year.
I'm sorry.
And she works with me in spirit. And I was doing a shamanic healing, and she's a baby. So I'm like, Kiara, what are you doing here? And she's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm working. What are you doing here? So it was really funny, and I was grateful to share this message with her mom afterwards. But she is actually my guardian angel for when clients have had miscarriages and the babies had crossed over. So she helped cross all these babies over that didn't make it. So I should have said a trigger warning for anyone who's had a miscarriage, and I'm so sorry. But it was a beautiful moment because she saw all 6 of her babies like on the ceiling by the end of the
It's beautiful and sad at the same time.
Absolutely.
What sacred self-care practices keep you aligned?
Definitely, as cold as it is here in New England, being outside in nature really helps me come back and cleanse me and clear me. So I put on my layers and my gloves and I suck it up even for 5 to 10 minutes. Another simple technique I really like is putting my back against a tree, just to help ground me when I come back down. And chocolate, because who doesn't like chocolate?
I know like 2 people in the world that I know of that don't like chocolate. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
What does success look like to you as a spiritual business owner?
That my clients were able to get something out of some sort of healing out of it. It's really about my clients at the end of the day. Like, if they didn't leave with any sort of like peace, love, comfort, or healing, then I didn't do my job. So
I can see that. Yeah. Do you follow the moon, astrology, or seasonal cycles in your work?
I am horrible with astrology. So when things are happening in the stars, I'm like, what? And the moon, I'm getting a little bit better, like knowing between like full moon and new moon. As actually, funny enough, there's like that moon cycle over there, and I was reading it. I'm like, wow, I should probably be paying attention more to the moon cycle. So maybe it'll be something in 2026 to work on, but no one has.
Teach moon classes.
Oh, okay.
Nice. What's something you wished more people knew about energy work, divination rituals, what have you?
Definitely how draining and taxing it'd be. And what else I want them to know? Definitely how draining and taxing it can be. And it doesn't have to be for everybody. Like, I'm starting to learn that more as I go down this journey. You find the people that you can talk to about with, and then the other people that it may not be for, we can talk about other things. And I think that kind of goes back to the question earlier of like misconception. I think people think I can't have like a normal conversation anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
Everything's like, based on spirits now.
No, I can have the human experience and we can talk about human
Spirit
things.
said, don't eat the fries, you know?
Yeah, so definitely I'd say that.
Yeah, so true though. If you could give one piece of advice to somebody starting their path, what would it be?
Get a mentor. Definitely get a mentor, someone you can check in with. It just, when you're so green and open, you're leaving such a wide door for anything to come through. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody, because depending upon how sensitive you are and just who you are, you could bring in something that would just be too much and could be just so overwhelming. And so definitely I'd say mentor, or if you don't have like a mentor in your area, definitely like reading or like learning from, like learn from everybody. What resonates with me may not resonate with you, but it might resonate with you and not. So just definitely learning from everybody, and I would say find a mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. Always be a student for sure. What magic are you currently brewing in regards to any classes you're teaching or events that you'll be providing services at or what have you?
So I host angelic healing circles once a month. It's usually the first Monday of every month at the Soul Purpose, $25 per person, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Nice. I
host group shamanic healings also once a month, usually the second Monday of every month, $25, again, 6:30 to 8. I am teaching my own Developing Your Inner Medium. So for those that want to start the mediumship path, so that's a 6-month series. We start January 25th if anyone wants to enroll, and it'll run again after this. And I teach Munaki, which is a Peruvian shamanism and getting your shamanic rights. So we just started a class a couple weeks ago, and we're starting one in March, and a second class in March. That'll be 2 Mondays a month. And then I teach like a spiritual development circle. I kind of like call it open gym for like psychics and healers. So people want to come work on mediumship, their psychic abilities, Reiki, shamanic techniques.
Nice.
They can come into this space no matter seasoned or green. And if you just want to practice or you need help getting started. So I provide kind of that like group mentorship once a month. And that is Wednesdays every month. I think I hit everything that I teach.
Busy girl. Nice.
I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Now I have some fun questions for you.
Questions.
What is your sun, moon, and rising signs, if you know them?
Lane, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, buddy. He's like our astrology savant. He is so incredibly talented with astrology. I am a Leo. My sun, I think I'm a Scorpion moon, and I can't remember what my rising is. I don't know. I've seen like different things, and I know Lane definitely told me, and I just remember him at one point saying, "You got a lot of Leo in you." I'm like, great. I work with enough fire. I don't need any more.
Do you have a favorite crystal or tool or herb that you work with?
Definitely my necklaces. I just the protection, especially like sleep and astral traveling. Like sometimes things come back. We'll call them hitchhikers. Sometimes I got spiritual hitchhikers that come home with me, and I'm like, I don't want you here.
Yeah, so, you were not invited. Excuse me.
No, hitch a ride.
What is your magical nickname or an archetype that you resonate with?
I don't really resonate with one at this time, but I mean, it could change. So it could change.
Maybe make it one later, or
I'm still waiting for it to come.
Yeah. Tea or tincture?
Tea or tincture? Tea.
Tarot or runes?
Tarot.
Cauldron or candle?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. If I have to pick one, candle.
Candle, nice. If your spirit guide had a voice, what would it sound like? There's a concert going on.
If he had a voice, well, some mediums hear his like thick like accent because he's African. So I don't know. They're probably. I always say they're probably yelling at me about something because sometimes I don't listen. So they'll go to my mentor and be like, "She's not listening. You need to you need to help her." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it changes. Like they say in spirits like yourself but higher pitch, but sometimes I can hear like my grandmother like clear as day. So it's I'm grateful in that sense. Yeah.
Nice. And do you have any pets?
I do not.
That's okay. Would you, if you wanted to get one later, like what would it be?
I had a Saint Bernard and she was beautiful. I don't know if I'll ever have a dog like her again, but you never know. I never say never. Yeah. But no, I'm starting. I used to be allergic to cats when I was younger, but I grew out of that thankfully. So like I'm starting to like now, not that I didn't like them, but it just I'm like, Well,
yeah, you keep a distance.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So now I've been like snuggling kitties more. So we'll see.
Yeah. Sometimes they pick you, you don't pick them, right?
True.
Yeah. So that was all the questions I have for you. Did I want to speak about anything else?
I don't think I have anything else. I think I hit everything, and
awesome.
That's it.
Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Absolutely. So go check her out. I'm going to put a link to find her in the description. Go check out her classes, get a reading or some mediumship with her or some shamanic. Yeah, absolutely. And as always, come check us out at Enchanted Dragonfly. We are a metaphysical shop at 99 Church Street in Whitinsville, Massachusetts. And give this podcast, subscribe to the channel, share this episode with your friends, and they'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and like the episode and help us grow. Here. Yes, absolutely.
It's a beautiful story.
Thank you very much. And as always, bless be. Love you all. Bye, guys.